Did you know Jesus defines Holy Spirit? In Mark chapter 13, verse 11, the yellow highlighted text that you see, Jesus teaches sometimes the words people say are not their own words. The words are from or by Holy Spirit. And in Matthew chapter 10, verse 20, Jesus teaches, Holy Spirit is our Father's word speaking from your mouth. Now, I did some editing in the blue and green highlighting, and the word in, and I had to add the word through, because we have 4 examples of our Father's words. The first example, Luke chapter 1, verse 67, tells us when Zacharias declared John's the Baptist's life, these words had to be said by our Creator, for he prophesied John's life. The second example we have is Luke chapter 1, verse 41, when out of Elizabeth's mouth she declared Mary's son is blessed. These 2 verses prove their words were our Creator's words coming from their mouths. The third and fourth example are in Luke chapter 12, verse 12, and Matthew chapter 12, verse 28, where Jesus teaches our Creator's words will be said in their mind, and then they are to say his words. Other examples of our Creator's words coming to their mind are in the Hebrew text, where the prophets are being told to go out, and then our Creator will tell them what to say. Thus, Jesus teaches us there is no Trinity. All right, I'm setting things up here. I guess I forgot to do a few things here yet today. So this is going to be 12 and or 11 and 12 of Kings 2. So let me see where I'm at here on the screen. I better keep YouTube up because it seems to shut down a lot on me. Let me see here. Okay. I'm trying to show people the hidden formats that are in the Hebrew text. And what their style of writing is, it ends up looking like, is I'm using 2 major words to make a verse. Okay? So you'll see that all these I'm using like this, and because this word did is very important in this verse, I'll use that word. Most of the time I don't. And you'll see these 2 verses, or 2 major words. And in a 3 verse, this verse right here becomes like a statement or a period at the end, where this 2 combine as a sentence, and then that makes a small paragraph. When it repeats with the similar like words, they make a larger paragraph, and then there's usually a double space between the text. Now, the 4-verse format, same thing, but I only use these 2 as a sentence, these first 2, and then the second 2 will be in that become a sentence, and this becomes another small paragraph, and you can see that it happens again. So that's the formats that I'm looking for. Now I do a lot of editing, and that's what these videos are for, is to show how I clean up the text to make sure that the format matches. And then you'll find that when I'm doing this, most of the time the words that I'm removing don't really matter anyway, or are completely oversalted. Like he slept with his fathers, he died. And then down here he was buried by Samara. The thing here is each writer does this a little bit different, how they write these words. But these are my editing marks by the red I'm adding. When it's close enough within the word of the intent that's in the verse, I'll get rid of that word, and then I'll use a slash, and then I'll say this word is within a close shadow of it. Otherwise, when I'm changing it, I'll just use green text or green highlight, just like from 8 years to 4 years. So I'm going to start editing 11 here. And oh, by the way, I'm putting all the text together to complete a book from the start to finish, of all the things that are really, really, really important in the text. A lot of books I just throw out completely. They're useless in telling the true truths about Jesus. It says this was the mother of this king, and we've been doing this to his name. And I'm not sure if he's a good king or not, so let me check. Ahaz. Okay, right here. He's an Israeli. He is from the nation Israel. So that would be that this is the nation of Israel, and this is the nation of Judah, and he is king over Judah or over Israel. Now, let me see here. Why is this not? Still don't have that pulled over enough. Okay. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. I'm just worried about how the screen looks, that's all. Now, saw that her husband was dead. Knew her son was dead. Now, see how this is 3 verse or 3 major words in it? That's a good sign that says that's somebody's added that text, because I can't get rid of one of them. Now, how can she have the authority to raise up and kill off what they're saying is the royal offspring, when actually our Creator has defined to David that all his sons, for descendants from his sons, will be kings on both sides. We have prophecy of this guy killing off his. We have the prophecy of this guy. I'm not sure if it's this guy that's kills off his. And then this guy got a prophecy to kill off these. So maybe it was him that killed off these. I'm not sure. But there's prophecies to go with the stories of what king does the killing. So by our Creator's prophecies or his commands. So that's out. Now this here, the daughter of King Jeroboam's sister, who were being brought to death, and placed him in a nursery and hid him. This is not a true story. The king is going to remain the king at all times. He doesn't need to be hidden. His sons don't need to be hidden, because why they're killed off is because they don't, and usually it's their advisors and family and friends, anybody that could try to reestablish their own descendant from a king, and that's just isn't what happens. Now here, our Creator's house is in Judah, and right now we have the king here in Israel. So this is more oversalted words here, so that's untrue. See here again, they're still saying that they came to this, that he's hidden inside the house for our Creator, and that's just wrong. In Jerusalem, they obeyed our Creator for couple hundred years, 300, 400 years, something, that were very obedient to our Creator. So nobody was to go in the courtyard for his house, even. So that would have been untruthful. Now, these are got quotation marks, and these quotation marks are saying when they found text in the manuscripts that weren't in the original Hebrew manuscripts, they put that text in, and that's how they note that they found them. And this, I don't know when they added this, these, this text here like this, but I'm using the 1977 NSAB. Because I have a concordance that I can check words with. I haven't been doing that lately because I really haven't needed them. Because a lot of times the concordance is over a specific word usage, and this doesn't have that problem in the last two books, I believe. So, and he commanded them, saying, "This is the thing. 1:30 you will come in on a Sabbath." No, this is wrong. And this, all this has been untruthful. This is untruthful. Now here, they're saying Sabbath. That's wrong. It's our Creator defined it as a holy day. So these words would be holy days, okay, instead of Sabbath. But the object here is this was a day of no work, and yet here, captains of hundreds are going to be coming in. That's against our Creator. So this is all wrong. The story is just made up. Now, some people might try to find a 3-verse format in here or a 4-verse format. That if they do, there would be that was the earlier text that they started putting their own stories in. So spears and shields that had been with King David, that were in his house. No, none of this stuff was in his house. And this would be wrong as well. Now, a prophet has to anoint the king, or the highest priest has to anoint the king according to the correct way to anoint a king. Still can't have him come into his house. So again, that is wrong. And this pillar is at the front door of his house. So this is all wrong. And actually, they can't come down to Judah and just go walking in there. Bring her out. No, this still is all wrong. A queen does not have power. Now this might be a different story here. Yeah, it seems like it's a different story. But which king is this king? And I've shortened up these, so I know what I've kind of got shortened here. Because I know I've got this king. This king has been mentioned. We don't have these kings here. So it might be this king here. See how close that text is to OASH. Oh, OASH. Okay. So if it's any king, it's this king. Aid and agreement. Now he can't make an agreement with YV, so that's out. Well, between him, should be down here, him, and if he's over this, it's not the people, it's with the tribes. That's what I guess. Say that's no. This it's closer to this. This isn't needed, but it seems like this is a 4 verse then because I got to get this here. Will be why these people but if you notice, I've got him as a bad king. I have him as a good king. So I might have further corrections on this guy here. So I'm going to put an underline on that. Because I'm trying to think of what was, I threw all that out. Let me see what was a part I'd done here. See, so the story should follow as this king. It should be this king next when the text comes up like this. This just means that there's a such a difference that I'm not sure if they go together here at this time. See, this is about Jehu. And then now Jehu died and his son became king. Okay, like I said, this here is more or less the correct king now. The story has to come to this king before it go to this king. So just a moment, I gotta take this. Sorry about that. That's doctor's calling for my mother. So I got to get back with my ma and get that information to her. This is the king that should be here then. Whoops, this is, because that's I was looking at is this. So it has to be this king. So made an agreement between him and the tribes. They will be YHVH'S people. And actually it's Yah's people. Who is Yah? That is the Hebrew name they gave to Jesus. If you haven't been here before, that's what I've explained a couple times, so I don't think I'll go over it right now, but I will be making a video so sometime. So in the future, you'll have that video as well. Okay, Yah's people. Although I should leave it as YHVH'S servants. Servants. And not people. Okay. And all at the end, all the tribes' lands. They went to the temples. For Ra, and tore them down. Now, Jehu had already done the temple that was in, so this would be altars. And now these were set up all over the place in the land, so this is more of a correct word here. Oh, here it is, his altars and his images. All the places. Now I'm adding a word. And it now seems like this is a 3-verse instead of a 4-verse. But his altars and with I forgot to check the audio on this. Sorry about that. Is okay. It's got to turn up the. I don't have it close enough to my mouth here. Sorry. His altars and his images, they broke in pieces. This has to be a high priest. He has to be somebody of importance if they're going to note it. Okay. That's a 4 verse. No, this isn't Israel. This is oversalted. And he took his captains. Now, see, this is where I would want to know what the hell does that word mean here. No, this is sorry, I've got a. Yeah, how old is he? Because if he's making the agreement with the people, he's in full control. So why did they set him? So this is going to be false. No, see, this is going to say how he was 7 years old when he became king. And all this would be, oh, Jesus' people. And all his people in their nation rejoiced. So this has got to be replaced because that's the intent. This land would represent the nation Israel being talked about in this subject. So maybe this one rejoiced. Now this is a 4 verse. But this, I don't know if this is even going to make it later. This I know is wrong because this is a different king. Now it's the next king. So this king has to die off, and this king. So and he became king. So the words are missing here about this guy dying. That's just a note to me. Okay. Now, if I clean this text up, we don't have much at all from this chapter. So I've got 2 verses that are missing to complete this story. So add them. This becomes a note to me. And then this guy becomes king. And now we got to get to the next subject here. So the story should be about this king here. In the 7th year of Joash. Well, let me see something here. See, there's Joash. Jehoash. And it would have been in this year, somewhere within his like 25th year, I would say, this guy becomes king. He ruled, and if you notice, I had him rule 30 years, not. And I have to trust the creator's hidden formats timeline on these numbers. This has got to be wrong. But what king is it? Hey, mouse. became king. And he ruled 30 years. And he is not in, he's in Israel. Or let me grab some text I already got made. So I'm adding that. This will be Sumer BI. That. This is wrong here. In the 2 10s and 7 here. I've been deciding whether I'm going to leave that TH or not. But these I'm going to add. Now it breaks into a 4 verse. But if I've already got he became king, this doesn't need this. And this is not needed. I put this here. Now everything reads smoother. It's 3 verses as well. Okay. Now here, this is not right. Need to change that so it reads right. Thinking it's this guy that might be talked about now. The order of the stories are right. It has to be this guy. And I've got him as a bad king. Maybe he is a good king in this story. Stay. This one. If I put in this, but some people, again, sacrificed. Their hills. People back then thought the higher you get closer to heaven, you were able to be heard by a greater. This is a different king, and it's got to be in Israel. This is talking about this king on this side of the board. He's going to be this king because he's in Judah. And to get the story right, who he is, I have to introduce his name. And that way can't use this as a major word. I'm using this and this. So I guess I can get rid of that word. This is our creator, his priest. This is wrong. You don't describe the items in his house. Small corrections help me out. Oh, just brought. Brought. If he's making a decree here, King has said to the priest, will be given. And they usually would be repairing things like the roof, the beams, and there's maybe some of the things need to be the cabinetry on the walls. Be given. You collect. It has to be that way. You aren't sacred things. Therefore, This is still wrong. This is where I gotta put it. You collect will be given for the house YV to be fixed or repaired. The money from the from any man, meaning male or female, and I'm thinking this is out anyway. This is what I was doing. All the money will be from any man who brings it for his house. The money will be from any man who brings it for his house. They will repair the damage. You, as priests, because you can't have anybody go in and look at the thing, as you as priests it will assign it for for the repair to repair. Damages. Or yourselves wherever. This reads as a 3-verse. But I already got this being said. Is may be found can replace it with the word is. So I've got that now. Now I gotta see what's going on here. Now this is a 23rd year. But this isn't here. They were collecting money. But this actually comes down. This, they set the chest out to collect the money. So you can't have all this stuff actually done yet. I got too many of them this way. I can change his name to this. J-Day, the high priest, took a chest and bored with a hole in his lid. 3 verse 1, 2, 3. Okay. East side. You can't go inside, so this is wrong. Gate. This is the gate to his courtyard. To the side. This one comes mouse for YV. As they to gates. Put in their money. Priest guarded it. So they put in their money. Now this I don't think is needed here. They didn't need to count the money to be said. And the money they gave, yeah, this is better. Put in their money, and then the money and the money and the money they gave. That just means I'm moving these words to here. And the money they gave weighed out. To those who did. Only the Levites can do this. The work. Okay. To the Levites who did the work and had for it. I don't know if these are going to make it. And they paid. And they paid carpenters and the builders. Now this tells me door hinges need to be repaired from time to time. Now these would have been Levite carpenters, so it had to be their carpenters. So I'm really trying to make sure that the Levites are the ones that everybody knows that's doing the work. And they paid their carpenters and builders who worked, who did the work and had oversight for it. Where they paid their carpenters and builders who worked on the house for YV. I'm pretty sure that's how it is. Okay, masons and stonecutters they aren't needed, plain and simple. For the simple fact is that you have to understand that it's a granite house. But the fence around it, was made out of limestone, and the floor in the courtyard was all limestone. This is all like afterthought this year. Don't need any of this. This stuff is already there. This is made out of gold and silver, so I don't think this is needed. Not needed. Needed. This is wrong. And now this is another king from another story. Now this I've already got. I don't know if it's this king, but I already got a king here already had taken Gad and Reuben. At this king's time. No, it's back here. No, that's when he removed this. I don't have that king's name for this. This has to be changed then here. Then the land. Then the lands for Israel. This, there's text missing. There's text missing here. Because this part here was here. And I know this king and the king from Jehoshaphat came up and they tried to oops, let me get a map here. Let me just put this one up. They came in here and they battled, and King Ahab died in his chariot. So this would have been taken at his time, and then later they would have took this land. According to the text, these two were taken, but at what time is the question? because these two, this is a summary. This has got to be newly added here. And then I gotta add this word. Then from the Jordan, then so when did this come about? Is the question in my mind to see, because this is the wrong king. These are the different kings, although this is the later king, so could be this king. Oh, see, I had this land being removed later in our creator's hidden formats. And this text is telling me um, this is when it gets hard trying to establish how to start this, especially something like this. Because this says, if this is reading correctly in order, now his son becomes king. And this is now his missing death. He must have went and died in the battle then. So that would be very interesting if that's what happened, because we don't have his death here yet. So, and that's why his son would have been automatically king. $20. If I add 10 and 7 years, that makes it a little bit more reasonable. He was 17 years and he was 10 and 7 years. See, this is almost like when he became king of Israel. Okay, just a second. Boy, I messed up. I have to finish this later. I gotta get over to my mom's place right now. This would have to be Reuben. Jerusalem. But this I got figured out now, but I do have to call this video an end. So I forgot all about what was going on over there. So I will continue later, I guess.